Good morning, guys. Welcome to Approach the Nerd and our Yashahime review for this week. Um, okay, so something happened that I really wanted to happen. And that's basically all of our OGs have finally been reunited. I will say a lot like last week, though, that their reunion was kind of lackluster when they first saw each other because I really wanted them to have like this huge reaction since they haven't seen each other for 14 years. And Sangha and Moroku didn't even know if Inuyasha and Kagome were even alive. So I would have loved to have had a moment. And I understand we're in the middle of a battle, like we're in the heat of it. So you don't have time to be sappy. But I mean, come on. Like, I wanted more. Like, am I being greedy? Probably. But I mean, 14 years, guys. 14 years is a long time not to see your BFFs, basically your family. So I guess I was in my feelings about that today. So I just wanted to throw that out there, get it out of the way that they didn't have a proper reunion. And Inuyasha did say, we'll catch up or we'll talk later. So I know that they're like in the thick of it, but I just really wanted it to happen. So I'm kind of like in my feelings about it, just a little bit. So the Grim Butterfly was heading to Miyamana Island, which is Takachiyo's clan's island, land, whatever you want to call it. And I love how they were pretty much saved by Inuyasha and Kagome, which is kind of like a throwback to when they were on that island before taking out the Raccoon King, or the hell his name was, the one that was just dirty. I did love that. I love that Kagome's like, I'm not playing around anymore. I shoot 3 arrows at a time. I don't bother with one. Like, she's like, I have upgraded myself. I'm like, so, but I did like that, Inuyasha did his attack, she did her attack, and they were able to repel the Grim Butterfly from basically getting rid of Kyosuke. And I love Takachiyo's little brother. He is absolutely adorable. But I love that, they were able to save them, and of course Kyosuke's going to kick them all underground so they won't be affected because the Grim Butterfly is basically, he's sucking up all the demons, or it's sucking up all the demons through Rion, because apparently this is Rion's master plan and desire, is to rid the world of demons. This is where it gets confusing. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this. Corinne Sensei is really confusing for me. So on the one hand, he's like, I need to wipe the world of all these demons and save humanity. Dirty demons, dirty demons. And now he's like, but humans are trash too. I wanted to be a history teacher, and I realized that humans just want to kill each other. So we're going to rid the world of demons, even though demons helped humans throughout history. We weren't even added to the history books. I'm like, okay, well, so which is it? Like, are you mad, bro? I mean, I don't understand. What is your motivation? That was confusing as shit to me. You're either pro or anti-demon. You're either pro or anti-humans. I feel like he's both, for both. And I feel like he even contradicts himself. It's very interesting because I already told you how I feel about Korinmaru. His right arm is getting on my nerves too. Like, because he literally is sucking up, all these demons are being sucked up by the Grim Butterfly, part of his plan. But he's still like, I'm offended. I mean, throughout history, only demons were only seen as things you hunt in fairy tales. And I'm like, but like, you are getting rid of demons. It's so confusing. Pick a side, pick a destination. I don't get it. I do not get it. So that is my thing. I don't understand what the hell Corinne Sensei actually wants. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. All right. So there is basically a split between the groups. So of course, Sango, Moroku, and their children, and Kohaku all meet up with Kagome and Inuyasha to kind of immobilize the Grim Butterfly so it can't move and keep zapping up demons. And I thought that scene was pretty cool. The twins, though, Sango and Moroku's twins, they like to throw shade on stuff, like especially their little brother. They're like, oh, well, he really hasn't come a long way, has he, Mom? And she's like, well, actually, I'm very proud of you. They're like, I'm like, why are you jealous? But they are so laid back. Like, these twins are just laid back in the middle of demon night. They're like, wee. So I don't know. Those twins are something else. They are something else. But I did love how they all came together and all had their specialties to immobilize the Grim Butterfly. So it was cool. I would have loved to have seen more. but they're cool. And the Black Hawk attack is very, very cool and OP. And Sango, I just really feel like Sango should just use her weapon and let everybody else sit down. Because I just feel like that weapon is OP. Like, it really is. But, again, I got my reunion, even if it was not the one that I really wanted. At least they're all together now. And maybe we have a chance when all this crap is over to have a proper party, reunion, whatever later on. So Kurimaru is facing off against Sesshomaru. Sesshomaru doesn't give 5 Fs about Kurimaru. Kurimaru's like, oh, I've been waiting for this. And he's like, yeah, you're pathetic. When he said that, I almost died. It was funny as hell. He's like, you're just pathetic. And then he's like, you act like a human. I was like, damn. And Kurimaru was like, you shouldn't bring children and a woman to a battle. And Sesshomaru was, because you use shit tactics like this is why your ass is weak. I mean, he is not only parrying him and blocking all of his attacks, he is talking mad trash to Kurimaru at the same time. For Sesshomaru, who doesn't like to show emotion and does not like to let you know what he's feeling, I think it's very crazy that he's being petty. I mean, in his own way, and I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome. I do think that this fight is going to be like something out of Dragon Ball Z, though. It may take 3 episodes to resolve because, I'm lifting my arm, I'm lifting my sword, I'm talking trash. So you got to spread that out, I guess. I don't know, but at the end of the day, Kurimaru, yes, he's powerful, but Sesshomaru's he's literally going to wear him like a hat. And I already know it because Sesshomaru is not playing with him. So that's going to be interesting. I hope we see a lot more of that next week. Corinne Sensei using our Z sword, which is what I nicknamed it last review, to absorb Toa's demon energy was something I already saw happening. Because you let him take this sword from you, you are half demon. He can use it on you. It's like hello. So I already knew that was going to happen. But I feel like, honestly, there's an end game for Rion, and I don't even think it has anything to do with Corinne Sensei. Rion is pissed at her father. She's mad that he allowed her to die. He's mad that she feels like he was not the father he should be. He put his goal of being more powerful and overall the biggest baddie in the land over his own daughter's well-being. And so I think all of this is stemming from that. Like, if you notice when Rion and when Riku and Toa were facing off against Corinne Sensei, and Corinne Sensei says, technically Rion doesn't have demons. And then, I don't know if he was basically implying that the reason that he let Toa, Setsuna, and Miroha in is because she wants Toa's body to basically live her best life, which is possible. But whatever she was going to say, it was like Rion basically has never said anything negative, even about the half demon that killed him. And that's what Riku was pointing out. And he was about to say Toa, Rion, and then basically she tells him to shut up and grabs him. So there's a lot more going on than Corinne Sensei's plan. And there's a lot more going on than, them needing to save her. I feel like all of this is grief. This is her. She's never dealt with this. I mean, I guess she's never had a chance to deal with it. She's been literally sealed in Mount Masubi and asleep for hundreds of years. So I guess this is now her time to deal with her issues. But she hasn't had a chance to do that. And so that's why she's so susceptible to the Grim Butterfly and to Corinne Sensei, because she hasn't dealt with her crap. And I think that Corinne Sensei does not realize that she is unstable and whatever he thought she was going to do was going to backfire. And Corinne Sensei is like, I'm her father. And Toa's like, no, you're not. You're just her father's right arm. I was like, people talking mad trash in this episode. I was here for it. I'm just telling you, was here for it. The scene with Setsuna and Miroha dealing with all the threads and the threads that could literally cut you in half or decapitate you, that was chilling to me, because that reminds me, I don't know if you guys ever saw the original Resident Evil movie with the lasers. And it made nets of lasers that started off with a few of the lights. You had to jump over whatever. And then it became this huge net and then just went through a guy and all of his body basically just came apart. That's what that scene reminds me of. It is frightening. It is frightening. I would not want to be in that situation. I'd be like sitting at the top of a shelf or some shit and be like talking down to her. I'm like, so how you doing down there, Rion? I'm not gonna stand in front of her with these damn threads. I love that Setsuna was able to call the colors they needed to cut, and every time they would do it, they would hear what Rion's heart was actually saying, and all of the things she was saying was basically, "My dad is trash. He didn't care about me. He only cares about himself." I mean, it's all about a child pissed at her parent, and I find that intriguing. I also find it intriguing that the only reason Kurimaru is actually fighting Sesshomaru is because he believes that's what Rion wants him to do. I'm like, it's not even about him being more powerful now. It's not even about his own vendetta. It's because he believes if he defeats Sesshomaru, Rion will be happy. Kurimaru and his daughter need to F and talk to each other, and then maybe all of this shit will be resolved. Like, all of it will be resolved. If he just says, "I'm sorry for being a dick and a bad dad," and she's like, "I appreciate that. I appreciate you, doing the work, Dad, doing the work and apologizing." And then maybe we won't have all this shit. Although I will say secretly, I thought it would be a really cool way to explain why there are no demons in the future. Because if it doesn't happen now, when does it happen? Like, how did these demons die out? Or is it that they're still around, but they're just not acknowledged or in the history books? Or maybe it's like Peter Pan. If you don't believe in fairies, in this case, you don't believe in demons, then they have no power. I don't know. But it's just interesting to me. Because like Kurimaru saying that demons were erased from history and they, humans didn't want to know the truth. So they just basically, made stories or fairy tales about hunting demons and making them all evil, even the good ones, basically. Kind of sat weird with me, and now I started reflecting, and I'm like, I wonder if the demons are actually gone, because if the good demons survive, they could be living among humans. So I don't know. That's an interesting play. It makes you want to go back and look at Inuyasha, when Kagome goes home, and see if there's anything that you notice about anyone that's a little off, or a little weird, descendants or whatever. So, but I don't know. That was just something I thought was interesting. Like I said, this wasn't a bad episode. It was just basically a kind of split adventure, I guess. I mean, you had, Takachio going off to get Moroku and Sango. You already have Moroku, Sango, and their kids defending a village. You have Inuyasha and Kagome trying to figure out how to deal with the Grim Butterfly. They tried to go into the butterfly after the kids, but Rion, basically wouldn't let them. Inuyasha is still Inuyasha, because before they went into the butterfly, he was like, "Let's just take the fucker out," and they're like, "No, we gotta save Rion." He's like, "Damn it!" like, this is not part of the plan. But yeah, I love how they, Inuyasha and Kagome, still a damn good team. I mean, they're married, so of course they are. But they had their own little adventure until they met up with everybody. So we did have our very brief reunion. And then, of course, we have the girls, and they're split up. We have Toa and at the time, Riku dealing with Corinne Sensei. So he got snatched away by Rion. So now it's just Toa versus Corinne Sensei. And at the end of the episode, he's like, "Well, time for you to die." But I know she's not going to die, because they showed the preview for next week and she's back to having her demon power, which actually bothers me, because I feel like I get spoiled by the events in the previews. It would have been nice. I mean, I knew she wasn't going to die. She's got main character insurance, but it would have been nice to be able to suspend it, that maybe she might get hurt or something. Something's going to intervene, though. Something always intervenes, because Toa is like a baby's kid. She won't die. She multiplies. She's not going anywhere. But and the girls, of course, having the threads coming towards them with no real way out. Something's obviously going to intervene, because they also were standing next to Toa in the preview. So it is what it is. But to be fair, I am more curious about what's going to happen with the OG crew and what's happening between Sesshomaru and Kurimaru, because Sesshomaru I'm telling you, that man was talking mad smack to Kurimaru, and I was loving it. And he was getting so mad. He's like, "What did you call me?" Like, "Called you a human, bitch." Like, oh, it cracked me up. It just cracked me the hell up. Yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, that's pretty much the whole episode. It wasn't too involved, but it was okay. Wasn't bad. The only problem that I had was I would have loved to have a bigger reaction with the OGs when they finally reunited after 14 years. But again, I'm holding hope that they're gonna have this huge thing, like reunion when they all have like less to deal with at the time. It's like no battles, no fights, no death, no threats of death or any of that stuff. And they'll be able to catch up, and then we'll actually get to see them being the OG crew that we love, and the family that we want them to be. And I would love to have Sesshomaru be a part of that. I mean, yes, he might be standing in the sidelines just staring, but at least he'd be there. I'm also curious to see that if if Rin finally gets to hug her daughters, which again, I will say this again, I do not understand why she didn't hug them to begin with, but that's just me. But if she gets to hug her daughters, will Sesshomaru hug them too? I want to know. I want to see how Sesshomaru is going to be as a daddy when he has the time to be a daddy. Maybe seeing Kurimaru and Rion's drama played out in front of him will make him realize that maybe he shouldn't be a shit dad to his daughters. Even though technically he really hasn't. And he was really doing everything for their mother, but he did, try and save them a lot and protect them a lot. So he does show it in ways that they may not see. But I'm just really curious to see if because like with Inuyasha and Moroha, they butted heads for like 10 seconds because they're alike. And then he was doting on his daughter the entire time and carrying her around, and it was just effing adorable. And I'm wondering if Sesshomaru is going to have that with Setsuna and Toa, because I would love to see how that plays out. That's just me, though. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I wanted Sunrise to animate their reaction to hearing Inu Kaga was alive. I would have loved that. I mean, especially Songo. I kind of felt like they said something like, "Hey, I haven't seen you in a while," but it's like, "Hello, it's been 14 years." I don't know. I just wanted a bigger reaction. I want to know what Riku was about to say, but Rian shut him up. I know, and we do know that the Z sword is supposed to drain Toa of all of her con. Or her soul, I guess it's con, and the shell, the Toa body, is supposed to be a vehicle for Rion to reanimate in. So she has a physical body. I don't know if that's still the plan, if Rion's deciding that she's just going to go through with that because she found out from her dad that's what he was trying to do in the first place. I don't know. But whatever it was, it freaked Riku out, and then Rion grabbed him. So I'm like, well, that shucks. Rin makes Sesshomaru stronger. Absolutely. 150%. But Rin does not make Sesshomaru talk smack. That was Sesshomaru. Sesshomaru was being petty, man. I was like, what? He was like his mama. You act like a human. I was like, damn. That was a great scene. Yeah, poor Rion girl is hurting. Yeah, all of this is trauma. Everything about it is trauma. She hasn't been able to process anything. Like, it's messed up. And so, like, her family's dysfunctional. Look what her Aunt Zero did. Her Zero loved her and then ended up sacrificing herself. I mean, she just lost everybody. And she's walking around in a body that keeps failing. It's a thing. It is a thing. And I know she couldn't kill Kurimaru. And I remember that Riku said that she wasn't able to kill her dad. And basically, you know what that means. She still loves his ass. That's what it is. She loves her dad, but her dad is effed up and she's upset. And so, yeah, this is all a father-daughter problem. This is what it is. I think he wanted to say Rion is brainwashed. I don't think Rion is brainwashed per se. I think that she's dealing with her stuff, and Kurimaru Sensei just said the right words and the right things to get her to see how angry she is at Kurimaru. Rion hates her father because he can protect her, and he knows that he shouldn't bring her to battlefield not once but twice. Yeah, he was very cocky. It's not that he wasn't able to protect her. He was just too into the fight and wasn't paying attention to his kid, and she ended up getting killed. And yeah, that's messed up. That is messed up. The fight is not technically a fight. I think they basically talking and getting out frustrations. Most likely Kurimaru won't die. My Seshi, he'll just maybe learn a lesson and give up. I am telling you, Sesshomaru was he was like, yeah, you're pathetic. That's something his mother said to Zero when Zero died initially before Sesshomaru brought her back because she was still tethered to Rin. And you remember Sesshomaru's mother said, "Oh, you were lusting over a demon that didn't want you. You're pathetic. You're just pathetic." That's how human of you. I'm like, that's Sesshomaru right there. Rison's family is so competitive. The girls wanted to outsign Hisue and even each other at one point. I'm telling you, those girls are a mess. I don't know. They didn't have enough spankings or timeouts as children. Something's wrong with those twins. And they love when things are weird. Like as soon as they get off on it, they're like, ha, this is messed up. Yay. I'm like, what is wrong with you? I remember when people thought Rion was actually half demon, but then again, why wouldn't Riku know that? True. I want to know who her mother is. How come we don't know who her mother is? Why are we not allowed to know this? I don't know why. They always seem to keep one of the parents out of the situation for some reason. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to know who her mother is, how Karimaru met this woman, where this woman is now. Like, what happened? So I would actually love to have backstory on how Rion is even his daughter. We'll get the reunion in the last episode, last 2 minutes. Yeah, you're probably right. The last 2 minutes of the whole series, we're going to get a 2 minute, probably not even 2 minutes, a minute and a half reunion where it was like, Kagome, son, I'll be like, really? Like, are you freaking? I will say this though, I need to add some more plushies because somewhere in my house I have a Karimaru no, I don't. I have a Kilala plushie and a Sango plushie and a Shippo plushie. I think I have Kagome too and Inuyasha. But I want to get Takachio very badly. I really want Kyosuke, his little brother. His little brother is so flipping adorable. I really want a plushie of him. I don't know if they have them or if they've made them, but I really want one. So just putting that out into the cosmos. If anybody sees where one is, let me know because I haven't been able to find any. So that is a thing. I think she'll hug the two first, and then he'll come in and hug every one of them. I want to know what Sesshomaru is going to do when Rin is hugging her daughters. Is he just going to be standing in the back like, my bitches? I really want to know. But now, I mean, I'm just curious. I guess my biggest mystery of this episode is Corinne Sensei. What the hell are you trying to accomplish? Because you basically are saying humans wrote demons out of history and only made them basically evil in fairy tales that are only good enough to be hunted. And then you're like, but demons are just trash, so we need to rid the world of all demons. But we need to brainwash the humans. I'm like, what is happening? What is your plan? Is too effing complicated. I'm like, it almost seems like you have a split personality. You are pro-human and then you're not pro-human, but you... And even Toa was like, well, there are bad humans and good humans, just like there are bad demons and good demons. Duh! And I'm like, you know what, Toa, you can't reason with Cray. I'm like, you just can't reason with Cray. It did not make sense to me why he was saying all this. I mean, because in the last episode, he was just, let's wipe out all the demons, purify the land, have flowers and trees. And now he's like, well, yeah, we need to control all the humans. When did this become part of the damn plan? Maybe Rion is controlling Corinne Sensei. I'm like, that would be a twist, right? Like, it's not actually him. It's her controlling him. Guys, I don't know, but all I know is that they're doing too much. They're just doing too much. Pick a side, pick a journey. I don't know. I think Karimaru was once loved, and I think Rion's mother died giving birth to Rion or was killed. Okay. Do you think that drove him crazy? I think the whole Karimaru bloodline from arm to foot is all confused. I mean, it is Karimaru's body part, so I feel like Riku's the only one that really is not. And he was just a horn. I'm like, that's sad. That's pretty sad. Although, you know what? I always thought it would have been really cool if he had been his ear, because he always touches his ear with his earring. So I always thought that Riku should have been an ear, like his left ear or right ear. And then we have the arm. So like, you know, kind of like a strength versus hearing type of situation going on. Just being an arbitrary horn is weird to me. So just throwing that out there. But I do like Riku's character. I do like that he seems to be the one. I kind of feel like Riku has all of the logic. Like, he's the logical one out of all three. He's the logical one. Karimaru is just cray-cray. And well, no, technically Corinne Sensei is just cray cray, and then Kirimaru is a narcissist. So I don't know. Not even Naraku's body parts acted this way. That's true. That is true. That would have been cool and logical. And this is Kirimaru we are talking about. Yeah. I mean, like I said, Kirimaru is easy to understand. He got his ass handed to him by Toga. And he never let that shit go. He was like, I can't handle this emotionally. I got beaten by the dog, dog demon king. I am upset. I'm supposed to be on the same level, as him, and I got defeated. This is BS. And then he took his daughter out too, and she ended up getting killed. And so it's just basically, and I remember Toga, there was an episode where they were fighting, and Toga told him, don't bring your daughter to a damn fight, dumbass. And then what did he do? He kept bringing her to the fight, and she ended up getting killed. And so, yeah, that Kirimaru's narcissism is so strong that it defies logic, which is why Kirimaru has zero logic. But let's be clear, though. He has been very contradictory throughout the entire series. Like, for one, like when he killed Setsuna, and he's like, oh, I didn't, that's a shame. Well, hopefully something will happen and we'll meet again. And I'm like, so are you upset you killed her? Or are you okay that you... I mean, I don't understand. What are you actually saying right now? And so Corinne Sensei being this way with demons and humans is a complete reflection of Kirimaru when he killed Setsuna, or when he does things and then he like regrets them, and then he has like deep contemplative thoughts while he's sitting in his boat eating grapes. I'm like, so it's so contradictory. Or how he's like, I will stop the half demon princesses from saving my daughter at Mount Masubi, and then he doesn't go there. He just like, meh. Like, they end up saving her, and then he literally appears as a hologram, like he's straight out of R2D2 in Star Wars, talking about, Rion, are you really leaving? And I'm like, well, apparently. Like, because you didn't bother to get up from the boat and come do anything about it. It's weird. That whole situation is weird to me. I wonder if Kirimaru told Rion how to fight. Probably not. Because then she'd be competition. Like he's like the Highlander. They could be only one. Like, and besides, he's like, you don't need to fight. I am always here to protect you. That is his logic. I'm the strongest thing alive. I will be the protector of you. And then she ends up getting killed. And then he steals her in Mount Masubi, and then comes up with this elaborate plan to go to the future, take out the Grim Comet, becoming the ruler of the universe with his daughter by his side, basically. And all the while planning on using Toa's body to put Rion in, so she has a permanent body. He had a plan. It was just an effed up plan. And he didn't count on the fact that his right arm also had a plan, which is also effed up and very effing confusing. And so there's too many plans going on right now. Too many plans, not enough cooks in the kitchen. And obviously, everybody in the show at this point needs a damn therapist. Guys. Like, guys. Overall, though, great episode. I am extremely excited for what's going to happen next week, because especially between Kirimaru and Shomaru. I don't know why. I'm invested in this fight. I need this to happen. So I am looking forward to seeing that. I'm looking to see how the girls get out of peril, because we know they will. I'm hoping that Riku gets to tell Toa what he was going to say to her. Rion's master plan, should I say. Which honestly, she's pissed at her dad. She's not thinking straight. It's all grief and anger. And I think that Kirimaru needs to stop wasting time fighting Sesshomaru and go talk to his kid. And stop believing Corinne Sensei when he tells you what your daughter wants. I mean, you're literally talking to your right arm. The hell? So yeah, he needs to deal with his family. That's what he needs to do. And also, I also feel like, I don't know if we're through going back and forth to the future. I kind of feel like, I don't know why, I kind of feel like Akaru may come back to life after everything is said and done. And I feel like either the Bone Eater Well or the Tree of Ages is going to allow them to travel back and forth again. Because I really want Kagome and Inuyasha and Moroha to be able to go see her mother and grandfather and meet Sota's family, after 14 years being separated. And actually, no, more than that, really. I would love to see like how that reunion would go down, because I think it does. I think we got extremely shafted, and I said this last week. We got extremely shafted with Toa's reaction to leaving Sota's family that raised her for 10 years. And I feel like the way to make that up to us viewers is by having Kagome be able to go home and see her mother and grandfather and see her brother and his family that she's never met. So I really want that to happen. I really want Maroha to be able to be almost like the big sister for May too, because they're cousins. So that is the thing, because that's the one thing that's interesting, and that is Toa is not biologically related to them at all, but Maroha is. So I would love to see how that would work. I think that would be very cool. Will they do that? Probably not. But if I was writing this show, that is something that I would definitely do. And I've always wanted to have an episode where the OG cast got a chance to see what it was like in Kagome's world, just for one day. Everybody got to go walk around the modern world. Could you see Sesshomaru taking Rin to a movie? I would pee myself. I'd laugh so hard. It would be awesome. Like having dinner, at a ramen shop or a ramen stand or whatever. Just doing something in the modern world that they could not do in the feudal era would be absolutely cool to me. But those are like dream. That's like I guess a fanfic someone needs to write. But like I would love for them to do something on that nature. I think a lot of us fans would be tickled to death to see that. Even Jockin being in the modern times and being accosted by Kagome's cat would be funny. I'm like, I don't know. I just find that I have this scenarios in my head I thought would be really cool. But it's probably not going to happen, because I don't know why this writing team does not seem to be on the same wavelength as what I want. So probably won't. But that's what I want to happen. So if it does happen, I will be happy. But not holding my breath, basically. All right, guys, we are past 30 minutes. So I know there are a few more comments got posted. If I did not answer anything that you asked, or you have any theories or questions, please put it in the comment section below. I will have my Kung Fu review video out later today. Also, the Owl House, if you are a fan of Disney's The Owl House, it is coming on the 19th. So I already set up a stream. You'll see it on the community tab. So we will be reviewing that and Yashahime next week. So be on the lookout for that. So you get 2 streams next week in the morning. Well, I think that one's at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you're able to check that out, please do. And I also want to know, what do you think's going on with Rion? What do you think is actually happening with her? And what do you think Corinne Sensei is actually saying, as confusing as he is? What are your theories on what's going to happen the rest of the season? Let me know in the comments below. And if it is day for you, have a good day. If it is evening for you, have a good evening. And I will see you guys in the next video and stream. Bye, guys.